Welcome back to our podcast, Silent Issues. I'm Christina.
And I'm Tisha. Today we're going to discuss a reality check for teens. I know we touched on this in the previous discussion, but me and Christina were having a discussion about saving money. And Christina was so unrealistic. So today we're going to have a convo about this so adults can see how teens really think. And teens can get annoyed by the adult perspective. So to jump in, Christina, we were talking about this, about you saving money. I know you're laughing because you know. So I was really, really frustrated with her. Like, I legit had to stop talking to her. And I said, you know what? We're saving this for the podcast. We were talking about saving money. She got money for her Sweet 16 that is saved, but she was having a fit because she doesn't feel she should have to save. So you want to elaborate a little bit on why you believe you don't have to save?
Okay. I don't believe that I don't have to save. I just don't want to save. And that's not because I think I should spend all my money, but I kind of want to. And I mean, my mom is saving my money, so I don't spend all of it, but if I had the choice, I probably would.
And yet she wants a car, but she says that she doesn't feel she should have to save for a car. But she also doesn't feel she should have to get a job to pay for these things. So she wants the magic fairy, I guess, to give her all this. And it's funny because, like I said, we had a podcast discussing this. And so she knows the reality. She knows that, like, this is what happens in life. And I get it. You know, she's 16, so she's stuck in between that age of wanting everything and the reality of becoming an adult. But she really was going on and on about, like, why. She said, I don't need a car. I don't need to save. But then in the same breath, she wants a car. She doesn't want a job, but she wants the money. And then she thinks that she can spend her money, and then she's like gonna magically make all this money from a part-time job that she could probably only work 1 day a week to save. So, like, again, how is this magic gonna happen? Tell us.
Well, no, it's not gonna happen. I know I have to get a job, but I'm just saying, like, I always say I don't want to get a job. I never said I didn't have to, because I probably do, but I just don't want to because it's not fun. And everyone just tells me get a job for money, which I know I should, but, like, it's not like a yay, I'm gonna go get a job. It's just like a I don't want to because I don't want to, but I need money, so I guess I have to. I did apply for a couple, and I'm, like, gonna see, but also with marching band, it's really hard because I really don't have time for a job, and I do in, like, November and December. But then when January starts up, I have to figure out a schedule with them, so it's always really hard to pick a job around this time. And I could have picked it during summer, but that's my only time that I don't have school and I can actually have a break. So I would not like a job in that summer. Like, maybe, like, for a couple weeks and get some money. Like, some of my friends go to camp and they work in the kitchen and they, like, get money from that, and then they come back and they can have fun. And they probably, I don't know if they spend their money. Some people save, some people spend, but I mean, I'm doing both. That's fine.
You're not doing both because you, if you, like you said, if you had it your way, you would be spending it. But in reality, you aren't because your mother has your money. But what I'm listening to you, and I get it completely about not wanting to have a job like that. I get that reality. Like, who wants to start that so early in their life? And as it is, I'm working, and there's plenty of days I don't want to work. So I'm not that part. I'm not arguing with. But with you, I laugh because you're up here and you're saying this, but then when we have a separate conversation, you were going off about, like, not just the job thing but the car. Like, you were making it seem like you're supposed to get a car. See, a little backstory: Christina's a little spoiled. She pretty much gets whatever she wants, and so she doesn't get everything, but she gets lots of things. And she gets, I want to say, lots of the more smaller things. It's not necessarily like her mom just went and bought her a car, but that's what she's expecting, that her mom should buy her the car. Her mom should pay the insurance. Her mom should have gas money for her, all those things. And that's not a reality. And that's what I'm trying to explain to her, because a car is a privilege. You don't have to have a car. Oh, and we told Christina when she was looking for work, because she said, well, I can't work because I don't have a car to get to work. And I said, well, you can't get a car until you have work to pay for it. She doesn't want to walk. She does not believe she should have to walk anywhere. Correct?
Well, it's just unrealistic sometimes, because if you see where I live and then where all the jobs are, most of them are either in Wing Gap or, like, downtown Bangor, but they wouldn't, like, CBS was working with me and I was like, okay, like, hopefully I get that. But if I don't, there's not many other jobs that either are hiring or would accept my hours because of their hours too.
No, I get that. But at the same time, you weren't even willing to try. You only did that walk to CVS because you walked somewhere else over here and you were like, okay, I can do that, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not used to walking, so it's not like I, like, was excited about walking. Like, I genuinely don't want to walk far, but once I started walking a little bit, I was like, okay, it's not bad. But no, I don't want to walk.
See, that's my point. She doesn't want to walk. She doesn't want to work, but she wants a car. She wants to make sure she has all the things with the car. And like, we really got into it because she wants, again, she wants a car. She thinks that when she gets a job and like, she's gonna make enough money to cover the even if her mom pays her insurance, right? Like, even if her mom pays her insurance and she still needs gas money. I'm trying to explain to her because she's like, oh, I'll just drive here and I'll drive there, but you got to have gas money to get to those places. So when your paycheck is a little bit of money and all you're doing is spending it on gas, you're gonna feel it. And that's what I was trying to explain to her. But she's like really hard headed when it comes to these discussions. See, she's being real calm and collected now because she knows she's being recorded. But in reality, she gave me such a stressful headache the last time we spoke about this that I was like, I can't talk to you no more. Like, I can't, because she was unrealistic. Like, her friends, many of them have bought their own cars, right? Or some of them, their parents bought it. But that's the other thing. They all have a beta car, the hoopty. Christina wants a nice car. She's looking at the more expensive cars with no money, or her little savings. Let me say that, but not enough money. And she's looking at these cars. Then she argues with us when we tell her don't get a foreign car because of the parts that got to go into it. She doesn't. She just wants it to look cute. Again, I get it. She's 16, but at the same time, she has all these people in her corner trying to support her to make the right decisions. And well, Miss Stubborn here is like not wanting to listen. Like, she has friends who have cars that in a year, right? They broke down and now they don't have a car or whatever. So I get wanting a nicer car, but at the same time, if you ain't got the money for it, you ain't got the money for it.
No, but what? Okay, so I wanted this foreign car because it was cheap, and that's what they're basically telling me. So like, all my family is like, "Oh, get a cheap car," and then when I do decide to look at a cheap car, there's always something wrong about it. And then like they're like, "Oh, get a reliable car," but the reliable cars are the more expensive ones. And I could find a cheap, reliable car, but it's not going to be perfect. And I mean, if they're going to help me find one, then let's find one. But I haven't found one, so.
Okay, the perfect thing, no car is going to be perfect. Even half the time, unless you're getting it custom made for you, it's not going to be perfect. But here's the thing, she doesn't want to listen. She's sitting there saying, oh, we help her find it. We tell her not to look at foreign cars because here's the thing. If something breaks on it and you have to pay, and this is what I explained to her. So she was looking at a used BMW. It was a BMW, right? She was looking at a used BMW. And I'm explaining it to her. If a part breaks on it, because the chances are within a year, a part's going to break, right? She could take it off the lot and a part's going to break because these are not like certified cars or anything. They're just used cars. So you take it, if something breaks on it, you have to get that part. That part costs you $200-300 for something that's small, that on a American made car that might have cost you $50. And now you got to come up with that. Again, you don't have the money. So what are you going to do? So now you have a car that's just sitting there. And that's what I'm trying to explain to her, that this is what happens. Like, my very first car, my father bought it for me, and it was like $700, $750 he paid for it. And literally he got it. I think he bought it. I don't know if he bought it off a lot or from a person. And the engine blew. So I didn't have the car for like 3 months. And it was a Mitsubishi, so it was foreign too. And we had to get a used engine in, and it took forever and whatever. But that's what I'm trying to explain to her. And I lived in the city then, so it didn't really affect me because I had transportation. But I'm trying to explain this to her. Like, you can't you're going to look at things and you want them. Like, listen, when I was her age, I wanted a Mercedes Benz. I know better now. Like, I wouldn't get it or whatever. But that's what I'm trying to explain to her. Especially, yes, if you're getting a hoopty, you're going to have to put money into it. So get a hoopty that's kind of reliable, at least, or parts that's easy to get, because you're not going to be able to afford to replace those parts.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. Looking for a car is annoying. I just want a car that's good. I've looked at a couple lots, and usually the lot I was looking around is like under 5,000, but there's probably problems with them. And the problem is I can't, like, there's nothing on the car. So when I go into the lot, it's just a car, and it says the price, and I don't know anything about it. And if I go talk to them, they're gonna say a bunch of things, and I'm not gonna understand what they say. And I mean, all I really need to know is the miles and how much they're willing to negotiate. Because if I can negotiate a lower price, then it's probably better for me. Because then I don't have to buy, like, because of the parts, like, when I buy the parts and stuff.
Well, no, I mean, definitely if they're willing to negotiate, but a lot of these places now aren't. But that's neither here nor there. Obviously, you need someone to go with you, whether that's Grandpa or Robert or whatever. Yeah, Grandpa said he'll go with you. But the thing is, you're not going to want to hear what he has to tell you. When he tells you, no, Christina, that car is no good, you're going to be upset and you're not going to like the answers to it because they're looking at it, they're testing the car, they're running the car, and they're seeing if you turn a car on and a bunch of smoke comes out from the back, that's bad. That's an engine problem. But you don't know that. So that's something why you want to take someone who has a little more car experience to know. They got to check the oil, they got to check all those things and see. Believe me, when you walk into a lot, and this goes back to our sexism conversation,
Mm-hmm.
when you walk into a lot and they see female, especially you and your mom, they're like, oh, we got them. It's easy. Like, all we got to do, because they know, oh, she's only looking outside the car. They don't know if you have background in cars
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, but they're assuming you don't. And so they're going to try to sell you a lemon, you know, whereas they see a guy, they act different. Just like, so I just bought a car recently. And when I went to the first dealership I went to, the guy literally looked past, I was buying a car, not my husband, and he looked past me and started talking to my husband about the car. And my husband's like, she's looking for the car. And he continued to talk to him as if I wasn't there. And that annoyed me. So we didn't go to them. And the next dealership we went to, the guy was very, like,
Mm-hmm.
she knows because she met him, very helpful. And he talked to me the whole time. He talked to her when she was talking about cars. Like, there was none of that. And that's a big thing too. So a lot
Mm-hmm.
of these places, they'll do that to you. They'll treat you like you don't know anything about cars, so I can sell you whatever. So yes, I that's where I do think like taking a guy with us a lot of times is helpful because they they'll respect them a little more than us.
Mm-hmm.
But again, yes, they're looking at cars is it's a problem because if you don't have the money for it or if you don't know what you're looking for. So I get that. But then in the same sense, you want a car, but you don't have a job. And I get it and you started applying now or whatever. But let's say, for argument's sake, tomorrow your mom took you or grandpa went with you, let's just say, to go look at a car and you get a car. What are you going to do with it? You have no money now for
Well, yeah, but I would say that it would stay there probably. I mean, yeah, I would just
stay where?
I don't know, like by my house.
You can't have a car on the street if it's not registered. Now they're not letting you take it off the lot without it being registered. So and insurance. So all right, you have that. You have your license. I mean your registration and your insurance on it, right? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's paid for one. The registration's paid for a year, so you don't have to worry about that. Your insurance though, you got to pay every month. How are you paying it?
With my job if I get one. Like
If you get one,
yeah.
what if you don't have one?
Then I'll just pay my mom back, or I'll give her some of the money that I mean, I don't know, because if I could either use the money that I saved to put in for the car, or I could help her make payments with it, because I don't think that I'm gonna buy a car in full. That's just unrealistic.
Okay, so and we'll go back to this then, because you had that situation where your mom was looking at buying my old car, making
Mm-hmm.
payments, and that wasn't something within her budget. So I think you're being unrealistic about that part. That's going to happen. I don't think that that's going to happen where she's going to be able to make payments for you. Again, you're expecting something to happen that right now she said she can't afford. So that's why I'm saying to you, I'm not saying it to ruin anything for you because I just want you to be realistic about things. You need the job before you get the car because then you don't have to so much depend as much on your mother. You might be able to start saving. But the problem is you get money in your hand and you want to spend it. I was there. I know. I told her. I know that feeling like you just want to spend money because you have it, especially when you don't have large sums of money like that, regularly. But if you got to also think about like the prize in a sense in front of you. You want a car, you got to have money on the side because you're going to have problems. You're going to always have problems. The only reason right now I'm okay is because it's a brand new car. And so it has a warranty. And that's what I said to you when I bought it, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
what did I say? I don't want to be car poor. And what am I right now? I feel car poor. Like I feel like I am nickel and diamond everything else. So, like I get it. But at the same time, you got to be realistic. And I think first and foremost, you have to get a job. You have to. And it's hard because of your schedule. It is extremely hard because you have no time. Like next week, this is her last week. So squeezing in podcasts after this is going to be difficult because next week,
Mm-hmm.
band camp 8 to 4. So all week. So when does she have time to work? But at the same time, she then has to depend on her mom and her friends to take her places, right? Back and forth from band camp and back and forth from school and
Well, I mean,
all
I
this.
couldn't drive anyway. Like, I still have to, like, I can't get my license until January. So, I mean, I guess I could save up and get a car after, but that just feels dumb because then I'm going to be looking for a car after I have my license. And I feel like That's just gonna take so much time away from what I could do.
Well, think about it like this. First of all, like you just said, you couldn't drive it, right? So the car's going to sit on the road. You're paying insurance on a
No,
car.
because I would be driving it with my mom.
But how often your mom works, when you're at camp or school is when your mom's home, and then your mom goes out in the evening because that's when she works. So your schedule's not going to really work out like that. So you're paying insurance, you're paying all this on a car that's sitting there. Wouldn't it make more sense to start, if you know you get your license in January, you start looking for a car? Obviously, you're practicing driving in between. I'm not talking about that. But don't you also got to pay for your driving classes? Isn't isn't your mom making you pay for that out of your thing?
No, because that's no. I think she's paying that because that's
Okay.
I
Well,
wouldn't have enough to pay
but
for
that's
those.
another, that's like $500 or something like that you got to pay for that. Then, so if you start looking for a car in like December, November, December, then it makes sense because it's closer to you actually being able to use the car. You only have it sitting around maybe a month of, like a month where you're not using it like that, even if then. But I get in your mind, you're like, oh, I want it now. But sometimes the wanting things now doesn't work out because you'll have it and then it's sitting there and it's got to be moved because it's on the street. So it's got to be moved every 3 days. Otherwise, they start giving you tickets because people around here like to report things and cause issues. So then you have that. Then again, like I said, you're paying insurance. Then you got to keep gas in it. I mean, if you're not using it like that, the gas is going to stay. But think about the price of gas. You've seen that when we were traveling. So, I mean, there's a lot of things. And that's why I say, like, waiting till we're closer would make more sense. Our computer just made a weird noise. So we kind of like paused. We're like, what was that? But that's our computer made a weird noise. So do you have any comments? See, again, I'm just telling you, Christina is not being the Christina she was when me and her were going at this.
No, I mean, I don't know. It's also a lot because I want an SUV. I don't want a sedan because I don't feel like I could drive that. I mean, I want to test it out, but there's also like no way. I don't think anyone in our family has a sedan, so I can't. But I like the highness of the car, and I feel like it's not that big of a difference in like money. Because I mean, I looked in the lot that I was in, and the car that I saw, like the BMW SUV, was like 3,000, and the little one, like the sedan, was like 11,000. And I was no, it wasn't that high. It was like somewhere between. I'm not sure, but it was somewhere between 7 and 8, which is weird because the lot says under 5, but they're lying, I guess. And so I was looking at them, and I was like, yeah, I don't like the style. I don't like how that looks. Like I like the sedan look, the higher up. Like I like driving my mom's car. It's nice, and I feel like
You mean
it's
you
more.
like the SUV?
Yeah,
You said
more
sedan.
Oh no, I like my mom's car because it's higher up, and I don't know. I feel better in that one.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that part. Like, none of us do drive cars. It's funny, she calls them sedans, and we just say cars. But no one in our family really drives cars, and so you didn't grow up sitting in a
Yeah.
low car. So for you, but again, think about that. If the sedan is more money, there's a reason. It might be newer, it might have less problems, but they also know a used BMW is going to give more problems, so that's why they're going to sell it at a lower price. So again, there's all those aspects that to look into. So I mean, I like I said, I'm not trying to discourage you. I just want you to have the reality that with all these things come responsibilities and come problems, and you have to be prepared for them. If your car, whenever you get it, your car has an issue, and you can't fix that issue immediately, you're without a car. So if you have a job you have to get to in that car, you're not going to get there. So that's why in some ways getting a job that you could walk to, I'm not saying you can't ever drive there, but to be able to walk to will be useful because if you had that issue, because getting a used car, you're going to have issues. It's not going to happen. Like it's always going to happen. A used car it's used for a reason. People used it, and especially a cheap used car, they sold it, when they wanted something better because they know it was probably dying.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna go on Facebook Marketplace. That's probably better.
And what's that going to do?
Save me money
How?
because it's cheaper on there.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something about that. Here, I'm gonna upset her now. So when you buy a car from a person, you have less, what's the word I'm looking for? Security that the car is good. They sell it to you as is. If you drive away and the engine dies right then and there, nothing you can do about it. Not a damn thing. You can't. They're not going to help you. Nothing. There's no lemon law. There's lemon laws for, and again, I don't know all the details of it, so I'm just saying it in broad, ways. But if you buy something from a lot and literally you walk away, drive off, and the engine goes, you can probably sue them because they sold you something that they knew wasn't good. Whereas a person, I bought cars from people before, and it wasn't the best experience because again, you don't know what's wrong with it. You have no like clue. You're looking at it in that moment at the person, with the person, and you're gonna buy it, and you have to make that decision. And the person, especially if they know something's wrong with it, they're not gonna sit there and give you all this time to look at it. They're trying to get rid of it. So I'm just putting that out there. Like, I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm just saying it comes with more issues sometimes.
I liked going to the dealership because I liked their coverage and stuff. But if that's like out of my price range, then I mean I can't do anything about it. So I mean, and I'll probably just end up getting a bad car. And if it breaks down, then I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Because I mean, I'm looking for a reliable car, like I said, but I haven't seen anything near us that's cheap enough. Like I'm not gonna get a $14,000 car because that's just not reasonable. But the ones that are like lower, less than 10,000, aren't gonna be good. Like I don't know what else to say about that. Like it's not gonna be a good car. So
Well, it's not that it's not going to be a good car. It's just not going to not have any issues. It's going to have issues. Like even a $14,000 car is going to have issues, right? So like my old car that we were trying to get her mom to buy for her, the dealership was selling it for like 8,000, which was a really good deal because the car we knew at least a year there would be no issues because I just put tires on it, just did brake pads, just did oil change, like, oh, and it was very well maintained. And it probably would have been longer than a year, but I'm just giving at least that approximate time frame. The problem is you don't know that with other cars, and that's where the issue comes. You could get a car that someone took care of so well, like I did with mine, and it's a good car, but you don't know that. You can kind of tell from when you look inside of it and stuff like that, like what the seats look like, because if it's dirty and nasty, it's a person that probably wasn't taking care of their car. But at the same time, there's always like my old car. There could have been something I didn't know yet that's going to go wrong with it, that goes wrong with it. So that that happens. So I mean, yeah. So you can spend 14,000, you can spend 3,000. You still might have a car with issues. At your age, 3,000 to me makes more sense because of the fact that if you get in an accident, you bump it into a pole or listen, I did all that with my first car, so I know it happens. At least you don't feel as bad that like this car is looking like that. Now, by the time you get to college, you want to have a more reliable car, especially if you're traveling back and forth or anything like that. But again, the main thing is you need that money to come in. And how's that money come in? Well, it's obviously not coming into our podcast, people, because no one's subscribing and getting us some endorsements here. We need Christine to get a car. Help us. No, I'm joking. But in truth, like you need that job to get that, income in so that way that you can save and get a car. And again, and not even to get it because maybe your mom's going to get it for you, but to have that extra money to pay for that gas, to pay for that insurance, it's a difficult thing. When my sons got their cars, like when they worked, they had to give money towards their insurance, and they had to give money, pay for their gas if they had it. It was very hard for me to come out of pocket with stuff like that.
I wish we got their car because I think the payments were supposed to start in August, and I have enough to help her with the car payment itself. Like, yeah, maybe she have to pay the insurance, and I pay her back for that. But how many months from August? Like August, September, October, like I don't know.
Oh, you're saying from what you had, that would have covered 5 months.
And maybe she'd have to pay like 1 month because even if I got the job, I would be able to help with her.
Well, that's a lot of stuff that now is doesn't matter because the car's gone. Yeah. But I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, again, I want you to just be realistic and understand that money doesn't grow on trees. It may come from trees, but it doesn't grow on them. I wish it did. And like, again, I go back to myself. I just bought a car, and my big thing was I don't want to be car poor, and that's how I feel. I feel like I can't go and buy something that I want so easily now because I got to make sure that all my bills are paid first, and I have extra money to make sure when it's time to go food shopping and whatever other stuff that comes up. So I know, and again, I've never bought a brand new car until now. So it's the first time, and I'm telling you, it's an expensive endeavor. I had the other car completely paid off, and I put myself in debt in a sense.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it because I wanted the car, so I'm not mad about it, and I can afford it to an extent, but I don't have all this extra money like I did before to just kind of spend.
Mhm.
So, but I mean, guys, I want you guys to think about it. Think about, if you have any comments in regards to this, reach out to us, because, like I said, I want to say teens have one thought process, and us adults, we've experienced it, we've lived through it, and we, at this point have a different, take on it. And it's hard to get them to understand our take because they're stuck in between being a teen and being an adult. So if you have any comments or any suggestions, please throw them at us because we're more than willing to listen.
Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube and TikTok channel.
Thank you again for joining us and listening. Bye.
Bye.